Sure, the weather may seem calm right now, with these mild and pleasant days, but don't let your guard down. Something much more intense is on the horizon. Severe storms and massive snowfalls are just around the corner, ready to hit us when we least expect it. In this video, I'm going to break it down for you. I'll show you exactly what's coming using advanced weather models that reveal the full force of the storms headed our way. We need to take action now to stay safe and prepared. It's crucial that we don't wait until it's too late. Precautions are key. So buckle up, because we're diving into what you need to know, when to expect these drastic weather changes, and how to be ready for whatever comes next. We've got 2 winter storms approaching in the coming days, along with several blasts of Arctic air plunging southward. Let's take a look at the setup and highlight these 2 evolving winter storms. The first storm will begin to develop on Saturday and intensify, especially by Sunday, as a powerful upper-level low dives out of the Rockies. This will lead to the formation of a strong low-pressure system across Oklahoma. Ahead of this system, portions of Texas and Louisiana will be in the warm sector, where significant wind shear will likely fuel the development of a squall line during the afternoon and overnight hours. This will affect areas including southeast Texas, Louisiana, parts of Arkansas, and Mississippi. Severe storms are possible, with all 3 storm modes expected, including the potential for QLCS-type tornadoes during the overnight hours. North of this warm sector, in the cold air, Arctic winds plunging southward will create a significant winter storm. This storm will bring heavy snow, ice, and sleet to the affected region as it shifts eastward. The second storm system is expected to develop by the middle of next week. It will originate near Mexico as another upper-level low forms and moves across Texas and into the southeast. This system could produce snow, including the possibility of rare southern snow, for parts of Texas and the southeastern US. If you're new to the channel and enjoy detailed weather breakdowns, be sure to hit the subscribe button to get daily updates. I deeply appreciate each and every one of you who helped me reach 250,000 followers by the end of the year. Thank you so much for your continued support. I'm here daily to provide updates and keep you ahead of the storms. This morning's satellite imagery shows relatively calm conditions across the south, with most of the action currently in the north. There are higher winds across portions of the northeast, but the Arctic air mass hasn't fully locked in yet. Eyes are on the Yukon Territory and British Columbia, where a piece of Arctic air will begin to surge southward soon. This afternoon, the west remains in the warm sector, but the first signs of Arctic air will start to emerge and push southward. This will mark the beginning of the first winter storm, especially heading into Saturday and Sunday. By Sunday, a significant upper-level low will form over Oklahoma and Kansas. South of this, the warm sector will foster severe storms, while the northern cold sector will see the development of a major winter storm. Heavy snow, ice, and potential tree damage, possibly even a crippling ice storm, could unfold. On Sunday afternoon, the first surge of Arctic air will plunge southward, leading to rapidly falling temperatures. Meanwhile, the warm sector in southeast Texas, Louisiana, and Arkansas will likely experience severe weather with all 3 storm modes possible. The Storm Prediction Center has already highlighted a slight risk area for severe weather, and we're still 4 days out. This zone spans southeast Texas, Arkansas, Shreveport, Lake Charles, and over to the Jackson, Mississippi region. As the night progresses, this risk will extend into parts of Alabama. You can see the warm front surging northward, bringing the potential for severe storms as far north as Memphis, especially during the evening. Meanwhile, to the north, an upper-level low will deepen over Oklahoma. Northwest of this system, snow will begin flying, originating in Montana and spreading through Wyoming, Colorado, South Dakota, and Nebraska. These areas will experience healthy snow accumulations as the system intensifies. The tight isobars near the upper-level low indicate strong winds. Warm south winds will clash with Arctic dense air, which will sink to the surface and interact with the warm sector. This setup will likely lead to freezing rain, particularly in southern Kansas and Missouri. Unfortunately, Missouri appears to be in the bullseye for this system, with the entire state expected to face heavy impacts. In northern Missouri, snowfall rates could reach 1-2 inches per hour, while southern Missouri, southern Illinois, Indiana, and Kentucky face the threat of a significant ice storm. Further south, rain and severe storms will unfold, originating in southeast Texas and moving into Arkansas, Louisiana, and Mississippi. These storms may extend as far north as Memphis. By Monday morning, significant snow could develop in the Ohio Valley, with ice transitioning to snow in Kentucky, Ohio, and West Virginia. This system will continue eastward, spreading snow into Pennsylvania, New Jersey, and Delaware. South of the freezing line, warmer air will bring rain, while Arctic air plunges deeply into the south, delivering the coldest temperatures so far this winter. Temperatures will drop dramatically. On Monday morning, widespread feels like temperatures below zero are expected across the north, with wind chills nearing 20 degrees below zero in Nebraska and Kansas. Single-digit wind chills could extend as far south as Oklahoma, and in Dallas, it may feel like 15-degree firms. Areas with snow cover will experience even colder conditions. Winds will also be a major concern. In areas near the center of the upper-level low, gusts of 50-60 mph are possible, while gusts of 40 mph could occur further out. The squall line moving through the southeast overnight will bring additional strong winds, with gusty conditions continuing along the system's path as it moves eastward. As the Arctic air settles in, the extreme cold and winds will make Monday morning feel particularly harsh. If you're in the affected areas, be prepared for these conditions. Let's now shift our focus to the snowfall projections. Let's discuss some of the snow and ice totals we might see over the coming days. The first system will dive southeast from the northwest, bringing widespread snow across the Intermountain West. A significant upper-level low will likely develop in Oklahoma, with a substantial snow swath just north of it. Snowfall totals in this corridor could easily reach 8 to 12 inches. North of this area, heavier snow will dominate, while further south, unfortunately, an ice storm is likely to develop. As we move into Sunday, areas not seeing snow will experience sleet accumulating on the ground. Kansas, Missouri, southern Illinois, and Kentucky are expected to see a messy mix of winter weather throughout Sunday and into Monday. Further south, the more significant ice storm is likely to unfold, with ice accretions potentially reaching 1 inch in some areas. Ice accretions over 3/4 of an inch can lead to crippling conditions, including widespread power outages and hazardous travel. This dangerous setup is expected to intensify on Sunday and extend into Monday. A second system will follow, bringing another surge of Arctic air. This system will be trickier for the south due to an already established snowpack in the northern areas, which will enhance the cold air mass. This setup is particularly significant heading into the middle of next week. By Wednesday, a new disturbance is expected to develop in northern Mexico, southwest of Texas. This low-pressure system will lift moist air into the colder Arctic air mass, creating an overrunning setup. This interaction is likely to produce snow across portions of Texas. While exact placements are still uncertain, winter weather is increasingly likely for parts of the Deep South by midweek. On Thursday, January 9th, this system will shift eastward, bringing snow to areas like Mississippi, Alabama, and Georgia, as well as Tennessee. Ice may also be an issue in some regions. By this time, the system will bring snow to the Carolinas and the Southeast, with additional impacts further north into West Virginia, Pennsylvania, and upstate New York. Meanwhile, a third surge of Arctic air is expected to arrive late next week, bringing another round of heavy snow. This third wave will dive south from Canada, impacting areas like the Dakotas and Nebraska before plunging further south. The Southeast and even parts of Florida could feel the effects of this Arctic blast by the weekend. Let's revisit the evolving storm system and what models are projecting. Yesterday, we discussed the potential roller coaster of changes, and as predicted, models are shifting back towards a snowstorm scenario. By Thursday afternoon, this storm looks increasingly organized. A broad low-pressure area in the Gulf is picking up moisture and gaining intensity. Snowfall and ice could impact areas like Oklahoma, Texas, Arkansas, Mississippi, and Louisiana. By Friday afternoon, the storm begins tracking further north, with a more favorable jet stream configuration. Unlike previous horizontal runs, the jet stream now has an upward tilt pulling the system northward. Snowfall could spread into Tennessee, North Carolina, South Carolina, and northern Georgia. On Saturday, January 11th, early morning low temperatures will allow snowfall to expand into Tennessee, Kentucky, North Carolina, and Virginia. By the afternoon, snowfall is expected in Virginia, Maryland, D.C., and the Delmarva Peninsula. Although the system reaches a minimum pressure of 990 millibars, This is far weaker than the 970s we saw in earlier model runs. This reduced intensity means blizzard conditions are unlikely, as such storms require not just heavy snow, but also severe winds and much lower pressure. Despite this, the storm could still bring significant snowfall, with totals of 6 to 10 inches or more in certain areas. After this system passes, we're left with a very cold pattern through mid-January. Interestingly, around January 15th, another storm begins to form in the Gulf, following a similar path. Early indications suggest snow for Texas and Oklahoma, with potential impacts for the Deep South, including parts of Florida. However, the jet stream's horizontal orientation for this second system differs significantly from the vertical tilt of the previous one. This distinction will likely limit the storm's intensity and snowfall amounts. By January 18th, the model suggests lingering cold in the east, though less intense than earlier in the month. January continues to trend cold overall, with consistent opportunities for snow. While the west might see some snow and cold during this period, the positive PNA, Pacific North American pattern, appears likely to redevelop quickly, reinforcing cold air in the east. In summary, the 5th through the 12th stands out as the coldest and snowiest period, but signs point to an active and chilly January overall.